My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. This breakdown is brought to you by Premium Membership. Premium Membership brings you all sorts of betting and fantasy tools to help you make money. Things like exclusive 2, 3, and 4 leg parlays, betting calculators, parlay calculators, daily fantasy ownership projections, fighter salary rankings, and so much more. Check it out now at WeWantPicks.com. Scroll to the top and click Become a Member. And don't forget, we are giving away $50. All you need to do is go to WeWantPicks.com/bets, sign up with any one of our betting partners, make a deposit, and we send you $50 as a thank you. That's WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up, make a deposit, we send you $50. Next up at UFC Vegas 59, we have Bryan Battle taking on Takashi Sato. Bryan Battle 7-1 overall, 5-0 in his last 5, and he's coming off of his second official UFC win. And you could say his second Ultimate Fighter win, because that last fight was supposed to be the actual finale.
Great nipples, huh?
Yeah, crazy stretch marks and stuff, but he's a guy who's lost an incredible amount of weight. He was a big boy, turned his life around, and good for him. Takashi Sato.
Inspirational, 16, huh? Is that a little inspiration for you? Or?
Yeah, I'm just waiting to get bigger so that I can get smaller. But so for now, I'm on growth mode. Takashi Sato, 16-5 overall, 2-3 in his last 5, coming off a decision loss to Gunnar Nelson at UFC London back in March. Takashi Sato, I mentioned, he's coming off that short notice loss to Gunnar Nelson, where he was taken down 3 times and he was just held down for 8 minutes. Style-wise, he is a striker with solid power and well-timed strikes. He has pretty good volume and really turns it on when he has you stunned. He can be hittable, though, and that's because while he has really good foot movement, he's constantly moving his feet, he does not have great head movement. Takashi is 2-3 in the UFC, but his losses are quality losses. Belal Muhammad, Miguel Baeza, and Gunnar Nelson. Bryan Battle's coming off a very dominant win over Tresean Gore, which a lot of us thought was the Ultimate Fighter finale, or not thought. It was supposed to be the Ultimate Fighter finale before Tresean got hurt. Bryan's a good striker with solid volume and nice head kicks. He has shown us that he's got a solid ground game as well, and he's never out of a fight. He averages more than 1 takedown per fight, but has a miserable 22% takedown accuracy. And every time I watch fights, I take notes. Right? I'll sit there with my laptop. I'll take notes so that the next time I'm breaking down that fighter, I have just what I was thinking right there on paper from what I watched last time. My notes from Bryan Battle in that Tresean Gore fight, and this is literally in quotes, I copy-pasted it here. It says, very tough, not amazing anywhere, but very busy striker. He's basically Caitlin Chikagian. Constant noises, lots of volume while dancing and striking.
Oh, my God.
What? You had the same note?
No, I would not disrespect anyone by calling them Caitlin.
Oh, because you just hate Caitlin.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
the worst fighter in the UFC.
Yeah, who just literally beats everybody who isn't the champion. Anyway, with that being said, I think Bryan's going to Caitlin Chikagi in this fight. I think he's going to have his noises, his jabs. And Sato's a solid striker, but I think the grinding style and takedown attempts from Battle will earn him a decision win, and I got a money line bet on this bad boy, and I got some decent odds because I placed that bet early, and if you want access to our bets early, before Friday, before the lines start moving, go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member, and we're basically live updating bets, whether it's for a fight 6 months from now, 2 days from now, or a week from now. We're live updating with all of our bets, which should help you get some favorable lines. Jakey boy, how do you think Caitlin Chikagi wins this fight?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I like Bryan Battle, and I think he can actually become a guy in this division. I don't like the Caitlin reference, although I do understand it. I really think he can become a guy in this division. I think the body transformation, he showed how tough he was in his last fight, had pretty good cardio as well, looked pretty technical in the striking. He does have a little bit of wrestling in his back pocket, at least some takedown defense, if nothing else. And I could see this looking a lot like the Tresean Gore fight in the way that, he kind of, Sato is a karate style. He's got a judo black belt, but with his style that he fights, he never is able to get inside the pocket to use his judo. So I don't even know why he used that style. It's like he always just kind of dances around with no real mid game either. And I think that Battle is able to just kind of pick him apart, as you mentioned, kind of that Caitlin style. And I'll be honest, I think the Tresean Gore fight is a carbon copy of this fight. The biggest difference is Sato doesn't have the power that Gore has, right? So he's just going to be kind of, Battle is content with just kind of like backing up, waiting for you to come in. He's going to pick you apart, dance around. Sato's going to be chasing him a little bit, but Sato doesn't have that equalizer power that Gore has. And I think that Battle is going to go on a little run here, 3 or 4 fights in a row, because I honestly think that Tresean Gore was probably the most dangerous fighter that he's going to face in a long time. And obviously Tresean Gore kind of like folded in that fight as far as like didn't have any volume or anything, kind of gave that fight up. If he threw, that heat a little bit more, he probably could have got Bryan Battle out of there. But
I think he would have won it. Yeah.
Yeah, Bryan Battle showed how tough he was, came back from all those big shots and was still throwing volume, pressuring with takedowns, and I think that Tresean Gore is the toughest and most dangerous fighter that Bryan Battle is going to fight in a while. I think he's going to go on a little run here. I love him in this matchup just for the fact that Sato isn't a super dangerous guy. He's always going to, you're always going to be live, right? It's a fight. So if there's a wild Sato, knockout, I don't want people coming back and be like, because I know that's how everyone sounds in the chat. So I agree with you. I'm Bryan Battle 100%. I'm not going to put money on it. I want to see a little bit more, conviction, I guess, in his fights, and then I'll trust him a little bit more. But I think it's a Bryan Battle play all the way, unless something weird happens.
I got 2 bets on this fight.
Jesus
I got the
Christ.
money line bet, but also Bet Online. If you've been watching the last few weeks, they've got a couple of new props, and one of them is who will land more significant strikes in this fight. Again, it's not a line. It doesn't need to be more than anything. It's just who's going to land more significant strikes total. And between the two of them, look at the volume. First of all, this is the Monkey Knife Fight projected strike line. But if we come here, this is significant strike. These are their actual UFC stats. 7.1 per minute to 2.28 per minute. I bet on Bryan Battle. Put your fucking hand down. I bet on Bryan Battle. I think he's going to land more significant strikes. I threw 1 unit at it. It was -3 or something. I think that's almost a guarantee. Yes, Jacob. How can I help you?
It's -325. I do agree in this matchup he should have more significant strikes, but I think that 7.1 is a little inflated because Tresean Gore is a guy that just kind of stood right in front of him and was able to pick him apart. Where Sato, that karate style in and out, it's going to be a little bit harder to hit, but I agree. He should have more significant strikes.
It's just more. Yeah, it doesn't, like this Monkey Knife Fight strike line, you got to do something with that line, more or less than that line. This is I just need Bryan Battle. I don't care if it's 1. He just needs to land 1 more significant strike than Sato, and I will get paid. We haven't lost. Neither one of us have lost those new takedown or significant strike prop lines yet.
Well, I lost one last week with Alex Morono because that idiot went for a takedown, went to throw Semmelsberger, and the last second got flipped to his back. So he actually had the takedown, but then ended up on his back, and Semmelsberger got the takedown, which was a heartbreak.
I don't know why.
That was plus 170 too. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know why you bet that. That was foolish. But anyway, I mean,
he got the takedown. Yet. He's the one that engaged the takedown. He just somehow got reversed. So,
in wrestling, if you initiate in international wrestling, if you initiate the takedown, and depending on the situation, it could be called a clean slip.
Well, the announcer said a takedown from Morono, but got reversed. So they scored it as a takedown, but got reversed after the takedown. But obviously, the official scorecards. Can go fuck themselves.
Well, anyway, I got the 2 bets. That significant strike prop bet, you are only going to get that at Bet Online. Listen, I don't love it for every fight because some of those are impossible. But the who's going to get more takedowns, who's going to get more significant strikes, those are some of the coolest, best, and most cash-worthy prop bets I've ever seen in any sports betting. You're only going to get those if you go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. We have 5 partners. Bet Online's the one partner that offers that. Sign up, make a deposit. I will send you $50. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. I'm just going to send you $50 as a thank you. The official Monkey Knife Fight strike line, I'm not touching it. I hate seeing 94 on men. That's such a high number. I'm not going to touch it. It's probably a less-more situation. Like you said, the Tresean Gore fight, except a little less hittable. So it's probably less-more. If you want to experiment with that, WeWantPicks.com/MKF. What?
Experiment. I like that word. Is that Lipsky fight next? Speaking of experiment.
It is not. Next up.
Terrence will do.